Hey everybody, Omega Havoc here. Pokemon Go with only Slugma was a really tough challenge with many difficult obstacles that we had to overcome, so let's lower the difficulty a little bit. Today is the day we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Sapphire with only a single Absol. Now you may be thinking, Kieran, how can this challenge be difficult when Absol has a base attack stat of 130? Well, the thing is, in Gen 3 Dark type moves, which would be Absol's stab attacks, are special attacks, which is more than half of the base attack stat. Furthermore, Absol only gets Bite as a decent attacking Dark type move at level 21, and I have to deal with Razor Wind and Quick Attack until we get Strength, or I level to 46 to get Slash. So the moveset might affect me this run. Let's go over the rules. During battle I can only use Absol. I will also be using other Pokemon as HM users, but they will not be allowed in battle. No intentional glitches and exploits, no items are allowed to be used during battle, only held items for Absol, Pokeballs for catching HM users, and healing items outside of battle. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and if you're new, subscribe. I think this run should be fairly easy. I'm just worried about Steven at the end where his team resists the majority of my attacks, but with all that out of the way, let's get into the run. So first off, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Trico with Absol so we can do the whole run with it. I replaced Trico so my rival would have Blaziken, who this time will be a lot more of a challenge than Meganium was in the last run. I name it Jesse after one of my loyal viewers. Thanks for being an amazing supporter, Jesse, it is really appreciated. Now the first rival fight, and it's just a scratch war, which we eventually win, although Brendan did sneak a cheeky critical hit in before he goes down, but anyway we win and we're moving on. Nothing interesting happens then for a while, so let's go to the first gym, Showdown in Rustboro. First Roxanne sends out Geodude, and I start by setting up Leers as my normal type moves weren't doing any damage. Meanwhile Geodude goes for Rock Tomb a few times, lowering my speed. I go for Razor Wind a few times, but Roxanne keeps healing, so I switch gears and go for Quick Attack. But then Roxanne begins going for Defense Curl, literally rendering my attacks useless. She then finishes off with 2 Rock Throws. Yeah, we probably need to grind a few levels to get Bite and make this easier. Rematch, and this time it goes a lot more smoothly, as I begin with Leer. At this point I didn't realise that Bite was a special attack in this generation, so this was pointless. But either way, we take Geodude out in one bite. Last is Nose Pass, and we exchange each other's Rock Throws and Bite. Roxanne then heals, and after 2 more bites we take down Nose Pass and claim our first badge. Next is fighting leader Brawly, and yet again I haven't remembered that Bite is special attack, as I set up 2 sword dances before doing a fairly weak Bite, as he hits me for a powerful karate chop. However, we finally use a physical attack and crits KO him. Last is Makuhita and we take him out with 1 quick attack. Next is the notorious 110 rival battle. First is Welmer and we use Bite, which defeats it in 1 hit. Next is Combusken, I go for Bite, flinch it, then 2 quick attacks later we KO it. Last is Shroomish, I go for Bite again, take it down to red health, he then uses Stun Spore and paralyzes me, but we break through and beat it next turn. Next up is the Wally Fight. He sends out rolls, but because it is physically weak and I have a super effective move, we easily one-shot it with Bite, and also learn Double Team in the process, which will help us out later in the run. Now Electric Gym Leader Watson. First he sends in Magnemite, and because I forget Steel resists Dark in this generation, the Bite does nothing. He then paralyzes and confuses me the next 2 turns, and I hit myself in confusion. We then get him to red health, but then he heals. However, he misses with a Sonic Boom. I love that move name. And then we persevere with Bite and take it down. Next is Voltorb, who goes down in 1 bite after hitting me with Spark, and last is Magneton, who finishes me off with a Sonic Boom and Shockwave combo. I think that Magnemite at the beginning was what cost me the battle, so let's try that again. Rematch, and this time I set up double teams off the start to try and avoid Magnemite's attacks. Unfortunately we get hit by Thunderwave and Thundershock while doing so, and we get fully paralysed once. However, I can now set up Sword Stance and then use Quick Attack to take out both Magnemite and Voltorb. We almost get to the Magneton, but unfortunately it goes for Shockwave instead of Sonic Boom and takes us out. We either need better luck or just more health after Magnemite. Second rematch, and we get this run, where double teams allow us to avoid 2 Thunderwaves before being paralysed by Magnemite. Luckily this time we avoid all but 1 of his attacks and we take it out with a 1 quick attack. Voltorb we also one-shot, and this time we deal better damage to Magneton. He hits us with a Shockwave and then heals and we get fully paralysed. However, 2 quick attacks later and we win the battle. Next we head up to Mount Chimney where we face Archie. First is Mightyena, who immediately gets an Intimidate on us and we 2-shot it with Slash. Next is Golbat and we go for Slash, causing it to heal, but another 2 slashes later and we take it down. Last is Sharpedo and we one-shot it with Slash. Also, can we just address the fact that Archie's clothing really changed between Gen 3 and 6? For the better, might I add. Next is Fire Trainer Flannery, and I'm an idiot as I forgot to heal before the battle begins, but hopefully that won't affect me too badly. First is Slugma, who easily goes down in 1 bite. Next, Slugma also goes down in 1 bite. Last is Torkoal, who I take down to half with the first bite. He hits me with Overheat, taking me down to red health, and then we finish him off with another bite. That was a nice change of pace for once, a lot easier. Now we venture back to Petalburg to face our father. Norman leaves with slacking and I instantly start setting up double teams as this Donkey Kong ripoff hits like a truck. Unfortunately though, he hits us with Facade and puts us to sleep with Yawn, and we are asleep for a few crucial turns. We do wake up, but unfortunately it is not enough and 2 more Facades take us out. I decide to neglect grinding and rematch straight away, this time setting up a double team and a sword dance while also being put to sleep for a while again. Then I go back to using double team, but slacking still hits us for 2 facades, leaving us at low health. I then go for bite and flinch slacking, then use it again bringing it into red health and Norman heals. We persevere flinching it again and then taking it out. The next slacking tried using focus punch, but my +4 in attack / destroyed it in one hit, and the same happens to his Vigoroth straight afterwards. This wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. Now the rival fight at the Weather Institute. Again, I'm not at full health, but we one-shot Whalmer with 1 slash. Next is Combusken, who also goes down to 1 slash, and so does Shroomish soon after. We obtain Fly, which is completely useless to us, and keep moving forward. Now time for the flying leader Winona. First she sends in Swellow, who goes down in 1 slash. Next is Pelipper, who begins to frustrate with Protect, but we take it out before its antics continue. Next is Skarmory, who is very annoying, as all of my moves are not very effective against it, so I decide to set up 2 Sword Stance and then take it out in low health. Last is Altaria, and it goes down in 1 slash. I never realised how broken stat increasing moves are during normal playthroughs. Might start doing that more often. Next is the Lilly Cove rival fight. First is Swellow, who immediately goes down in 1 slash. Next is Combusken, who lives a slash on 1 HP but goes down next turn. Next is Whalmer, who also goes down in 1 slash. We level up in the process, and last is Shroomish, who goes down in a crit slash, which didn't matter. Next we head off to the Moss Deep Gym, and because I have to use 2 Pokemon to do battle with them, I bring my HM slave Zigzagoon and a Wingull for extra measure, but they both go down in 1 hit, so in the meantime I just set up. However, Lunatone and Solrock are very bulky and tough to contend with. We take Lunatone down to red, but they heal it before any further damage can be done. We do get quite lucky with some flinches and take it out in the end. Last is Solrock, who we damage incredibly severely, but it gets healed, so then we carry on using Bite, and get a crit to finish it in 1 decisive blow. That was probably one of the more easier gyms in type matchup, but took a very long time to do. Now we go to stop Archie's plans of eradicating land using the legendary Pokemon. First he sends out Mightyena, who gets an Intimidate off on us right off the bat, but we take it out after a few strengths. Next is Crobat, and I immediately use double team a few times to avoid any further damage. However, Archie heals when we get him into the red, but then we do it again and take him out. Last is Sharpedo, and although we take rough skin damage, we take him out in 2 strength, and the Drip Lord's reign of terror ends. So then we venture off to the Cave of Origin to stop Kyogre's mad rage of terror. I did try catching it, but then we realised we were too good for this sea urchin and he killed me. Turns out you shouldn't try attacking an ancient monster which can flood the world's landmass. After miraculously recovering from my life-threatening injuries inflicted by a god, we go take on an even more water in the Sootopolis gym leader Wallace. He leads with Love Disc and we immediately one-shot it with strength. Then we face Whiscash, who goes down in 2 strengths. Next is Celio, who also goes down in 2 strengths. Next is Seaking, who goes down into a crit strength, and last is Milotic. First I go for strength, we take him down to yellow, and then finish him off with another strength. Our water voodoo is over, for now. So now we make our way to Sydney of the Elite Four. Just to let you know, I spent a very long time grinding on the Elite Four prior to this, so that's why the level of Absol is very high. First he sends in Mightyena, who gets an Intimidate, which prevents us KOing with Slash, meaning we have to use it twice more after he heals to take it out. Next is Shiftry, and he starts trying to set up his own double team shenanigans, but we put it to bed with 2 strength. Next is Cacturn, who goes down in 2 strength. We are leech seeded too. Next is Sharpedo, who goes down in 1 strength, and finally another Absol who tries to set up on us, but we take it out in 2 strengths. Next is Ghost Elite Four Phoebe. First she sends in Dusclops, who we one-shot with Bite. Next is Bayonet, who also goes down in 1 bite. Next is Sableye, who we hit with Bite, flinch, but then she heals, so we have to use 2 more bites to take it out. Next is another Bayonet who goes down in 1 bite, and last is her stronger Dusclops but also goes down in 1 bite. Next is Ice Elite Four Glacier. She leads with Glalie, who lives a slash in red health, then she heals it, however 2 slashes later and it goes down. Next is Celio, and we go for Slash, taking it to red again, and she sets up Hail. We take it out next turn, but Hail may be a problem. She sends in another Celio, who misses a Blizzard, and we take it out in a strength and a bite. Next is another Glalie, who almost goes down in 1 hit but heals again, so we keep using Slash and Bite and take it out. Last is Walrein, and I immediately go for double teams as it misses a Blizzard, then hits us next turn, bringing us into low red health. We take it below half with Slash, then it heals with a Citrus Berry, and we manage to pull off the win. Barely. Last of the Elite Four is Dragon Trainer Drake. First is Shelgon, and I immediately set up double teams for the latter half of the battle. Shelgon does hit us once with Rock Tomb decreasing our speed, but it doesn't matter as we eventually take it out with a crit slash. Next is Altaria, who goes down in a slash and bite. Next is Flygon, and we take it out in 2 slashes, but it sets up a Sandstorm. Next is his second Flygon, who goes down in 1 strength and a bite, but lowers our accuracy with Sand Attack and causes us to miss a few bites before finally landing one, while also paralysing us in the process with Dragon Breath. Last is Salamence, who immediately gets an Intimidate on us, and it's not looking good. I use Strength to take it down to exactly half, but he uses Fly, and then lives our Strength with 1 health. So I hope I can live, and we do, taking it down with 2 bites. That battle was stressful, and I can't dread to think what Steven will be like. Time to face Steven, the champion. Steven leads with Skarmory, which sucks as my moves are useless against it, and he has Aerial Ace which never misses. However, I decide to set up double teams anyway while he goes for Steel Wing a lot, and then uses Aerial Ace, then decides to Toxic me, which basically ruins our run. Okay, so here's the problem. Anytime now Skarmory lands as Toxic on us, it's game over, because I can't deal enough damage to beat his whole team that quickly. We've just got to hope and pray the gods are on our side. Kyogre, please support us. I must have tried over 25 runs, but each time Skarmory would just either spam Toxic to land it or do too much damage to me and we'd end up losing because of it. I was barely beating Armaldo and then would just die because of my health. Finally, after resetting so much to the point where I broke the ROM textures so now all you see is a black background with Pokemon fighting on, we get this run. Skarmory is hit very low and we have all 6 double teams up at this point. I just forgot to record the start of the battle, sorry about that. However, we keep hitting Skarmory into low red and he kept being healed, but we finally beat it. Next is Armaldo and we use Bite, flinch it, and then take it out next turn with Bite. Next is Claydol, who lives on 1 HP and then uses Light Screen, making Bite weak. I decide to save Bite PP and instead go for physical moves to beat Claydol. Next is Aggron, who I still decide to chip away at with normal moves, doing nothing until the Light Screen drops, as it keeps missing attacks and we take it out with a Bite. Next is Cradilly, who goes down in 2 bites, and last is Metagross. I go for Bite and crit it, taking down to 1 HP, but then he gets flinched and then heals. Then the same happens where we take it down to red HP and he heals again. Then we knock him to half health, misses another Meteor Mash, and we get a crit Bite, winning us the battle and another scuffed final battle to end a challenge run. And that's the run. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I really apologise for being really inconsistent with these challenge runs. I've just been really busy since I started doing this run. Lost motivation, and then got busy again, but we eventually finished it and I'm super happy with our result. It wasn't incredibly difficult, but definitely had its difficult moments. Lastly, I want to thank you all for the amazing support I've been given during 2021. For a first year on YouTube, I've been really impressed with how far we've come as a community, and can't wait to take this even further next year. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have an amazing day and end to the rest of your year.